Hello, Anton the Wayland Banshee here, and have another unboxing. I have the August version of the horror pack that arrived, and I know I was late in getting the other one up, so these will probably be going up on about the same day or so. But anyway, costs $24.99 a month, and that includes shipping, and then you get the 4 Blu-rays. They do send out hints on their various social media networks, and people do speculate on what they think the movies are going to be. But I don't really like to look at that because I kind of like to be surprised, or I don't really want to have false hopes going in there, so I don't look at those. But they are available. So let's see what we got this month. So the first one that we got is Scar 3D. Some wounds never heal. Next one we got is looks like Motivational Growth. I haven't heard of that, but it stars Jeffrey Combs, so probably be worth a watch. The third movie, which I think I have 2 copies of. I don't know if I have it on Blu-ray though. Is Reanimator, also starring Jeffrey Combs in probably his most famous role, but. And then the last one is Saw 5. So I guess they're going through some of the Saw movies. I can't remember how many of those I watched. I don't think I made it up to 5 though. So I'll have those to watch, and then I'll get back to the second half. Alright, so we have the evaluation portion of August's horror pack. As usual, I do these in the order of how excited I was to receive them. So that's just my own personal opinion in the ordering. And even though I've yet to really get around to it, I do plan to do reviews on all the movies that I receive in horror packs and actually start doing more movie reviews. So the first one that we got is Saw 5. So it's the 5th installment in the Saw series, which is how I would describe it. It just sort of seems like the next one in the series. The back of the box says that Detective Hoffman is seemingly the last person alive to carry out Jigsaw's legacy. But when his secret is threatened, he must go on the hunt to eliminate all loose ends. It's the director's cut, and it's the 5th one in the series. I was never the biggest fan of the series personally. I enjoyed the first one. I think I saw a couple more. I don't think I ever got up to 5. And so that's just my own personal opinion. But anyway, you can find this on Amazon for $8.81, and then on eBay it was, roughly between $5 and $8. There's always people trying to sell it for more, but I'd say right around $5 to $8. The next movie, is Reanimator, which I have a couple of copies on DVD, but do not have the Blu-ray version. I don't think it really includes any special features other than maybe, well, that it's on the Blu-ray. Sorry, that's on the Blu-ray format. So, Reanimator is adapted from an H.P. Lovecraft short story that is far different than many of the other ones that involve big creatures like the Cthulhu ones and the Mouth of Madness, some of that. The Dunwich Horrors. Yeah, I'm terrible with remembering exact names, and I need to catch up on my Lovecraft. But anyway, Reanimator is basically the the movie version is circles around Dan Kane, a graduate student who's planning to go on to become a doctor and is studying at the Massachusetts University, as will be the place of study for most Lovecraft related stories. And he pretty much, is having a pretty good life. He's managed to med school, going on to become a doctor, has a girlfriend, Megan. They're planning to get married. Things are looking up for him. Then he meets and becomes roommates with Herbert West. Herbert West came to the school after an incident in, I don't remember which European country. Anyway, he came over here and he has this serum that can reanimate dead creatures. Well, kind of. They don't come back quite normal. They seem to be overall with high anger and rage issues. So, really, Dan's life is messed up by the experiments of Herbert West and the sort of feud that goes on between him and Dr. Hill, who is at the school. So on eBay, it was trending for $9.43. And then it was like $9.99 on Amazon. The third movie that we got was Scar 3D. And it does come with a couple pairs of the old 3D glasses. I got a minor collection of those going on now, just with the number of movies that just put them in the box. Though it does include the 2D version, so the glasses aren't completely necessary. So the backstory to this movie is that Joan manages to kill a mortician, Bishop, who had been torturing and murdering teenage girls, and therefore is saved from becoming his last victim. Well, the death part, she's still got some scars, which is probably why the movie has that name. Anyway, she comes back to town 16 years later, and right as she comes back, a copycat killer begins killing off her niece's friends. And all clues just seem to point back to Joan, which would make sense. She just arrived back in town, traumatized by the events, and maybe she's reenacting it. I think that's what the back of the box is trying to tell you. Some wounds never heal. I'm almost positive I've seen that movie, but it was years ago, and I can't remember who the killer is, so it'll be a surprise when I rewatch it. And then the fourth and final movie, the one that I was most excited about, Motivational Growth, having Jeffrey Combs' name up at the top. Also played Herbert West in Reanimator. Makes this, something that I get excited about. I really enjoy a lot of the movies that he's in. So we have a 30-something Ian who begins to take advice from a growth in his bathroom after a failed suicide attempt. Now, this growth actually does give him some helpful advice and helps him get his life back on track, apparently. But after some strange events start going on, Ian begins to wonder if this fungus has any ulterior motives. Oh, I forgot to do the pricing for Scar. So that is right around $5.90, or it's $5.99 on Amazon, and then right around $6 to $10 on eBay. And then our last movie is I was able to find a DVD copy of it. So a DVD copy of this movie would be $8.59 on Amazon, and then there were some Blu-ray that were going between $13 and $14 on eBay, and then DVDs also going between $8 and $13. So I guess that one would have to depend upon how much you value the Blu-ray format, how much extra you think it adds to the quality of the picture, or whether or not you're one of those people who just doesn't care as much. I'm kind of fall into that category. I buy movies, especially newer movies. I'll tend to go to DVDs, I'll go to Blu-rays. But older movies, I don't tend to think it. And if there aren't many extra special features, I just tend to stick with the DVD a lot of the time. Though some movies I'll go with the Blu-ray. I don't know. So that is gibberish. But anyway. So adding up these things, on the low end, I came to $28.42, and on the high end, I came in at $43.99. So this box costs $19.99, and that includes. I'm sorry, this one's the Blu-ray one. So this one costs $24.99, and that does include shipping. So the low end, it really doesn't give you much more than your value, and on the high end, you're pushing the double range, but you're still under it. Either way, I personally thought that this one came in right around $30. That's just looking at some of the ones on eBay. I think might be either people who got this and are trying to sell it. So some of the lower end on there might be ones where there's only one or two copies available, and you'd probably be able to easily get it at the other prices. And I don't really think that you can go below that you can go above the value of all of the Amazons, because they usually have a fair supply, and you could just easily get them sort of there. So I have it around $30. So I mean, you get a little bit more than what you paid for, but this month the value was kind of low. And for me, I have copies of 2 of the movies, though I didn't have copies of them on Blu-ray. I had copies of one of them, and one of them I probably wouldn't have picked up. So overall, not necessarily my favorite month, but that's my own opinion on the movies. And I enjoy opening up and seeing what they send out, so I'll continue to get this one. So I'll see you on the next month's pack. Well, for Horror Pack, I should have some other videos going up for other things.